Hey buds, welcome to We Can Talk Heroes, where we talk about everything cool that's happening in superheroes this week. To get started, for Deadpool 3, there is an interview with the actor who plays Dopinder in the previous Deadpool movies, who's going to be reprising his role in Deadpool 3. Did say that there's a ton of surprises and a lot of cameos. We had a pretty good idea there's going to be a ton of people showing up, but he said specifically a lot of people flew out to London. I've said this to Spencer before, but I feel like if they're gonna be doing just one movie this year, they're putting like a lot of budget into it.
Sure.
So I would not be surprised if we get a ton of like little one-off jokes or like one-shot cameos or whatever. I've heard a rumor that Jennifer Garner will be coming back as Elektra, which should be fun.
That's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I would not, especially with Deadpool, I would not put it past them to like just have like Ben Affleck for like a couple of frames or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Just
Yeah.
like, just be like make some snide comment or something, throw it out, and then just like have some obscure reference. But I also heard a rumor that Hugh Jackman said he'd be interested in doing like a Secret Wars thing, but only if he got to interact with Tobey and Robert Downey Jr. Again, totally a rumor. But
Ooh.
I mean, I feel like both of them are picking up the phone for Marvel, at least for something small. Who
Oh
knows?
yeah.
All right. In video game news, today or yesterday or in the past couple of days, Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation got an update, a free update, which was already, they announced that it's a new game plus with a couple of extra suits and stuff like that. They added some free suits that are available to everyone, which are like Hellfire Gala or something like that. Pretty cool. I logged in this morning and it looks pretty sick. There's also more suits you can engage with in the new game plus specifically. However, there was a bit of a bug, whether intentional or not, where players could access the debug menu and potentially mess with the game and possibly even corrupt their save data, which did happen to some people. But it did confirm that the Beetle DLC that we saw in the leak is likely the first DLC that they're going to drop. The Beetle being a villain of Spider-Man's. It looks like it's going to be the daughter of the Beetle, Janice Lincoln.
That was pretty close with Deborah and
Janice
Diane.
Lincoln was mentioned specifically, and I don't know that much about the Beetle, but I guess Janice Lincoln is the daughter of the original Beetle, and dons the suit and starts fighting people. But that looks like what we're going to be getting for Spider-Man DLC. I know a lot of people are expecting a Carnage DLC since Cletus Cassidy was spoiler alert, pretty heavy in that game. But at least in the interim, we know it's going to be Beetle DLC. All right, for Conley's Comic Corner, what do we got this week, buddy? What do you got to tell us about?
Oh man, we got more comics that I haven't read, as is the norm. I'm coming to realize. Uh, Two that I've been meaning to read. We'll start with the one that I'm sure a lot of people have heard of. It's been out for a long time. It's called Saga. It's one
Oh,
of the most popular comics around, and I have not read it still.
I've
Um,
not even heard of that before.
Oh, really? Yeah, Brian K.
Yeah.
Vaughan and Fiona Staples. I mean, I think it's like 11 or 13 like collections now to make up the whole run. It's like it's a saga. You
Yeah.
were very right and apt
No
to name
kidding.
it that. Uh, but I mean, it just looks great. I've been sleeping on it. I've been sleeping on a lot of comics. So, I was gonna go in to show some art, but there was some boobies in there. So keep your eyes out for some boobies,
You
folks.
sold me, Mikey. I'm gonna go to my local comic store and pick up Saga right now.
You should go and support your local comic store and pick up Saga now. That came out like so many years ago. Check out this comic from like 2004. All right.
As far as We Can Be Heroes news, we just did a live podcast, the BAMF podcast, me and one of our developers, Pete. Had a blast. It was a lot of fun. We did like kind of a quick, short, modified encounter from the adventure path that I'm writing, Pride and Avarice, involving a bank heist and two silly bad guys. It was a lot of fun. We had one player in particular that was a guest for this podcast named Alice, and they were fantastic. It's like, when you play D&D or a tabletop with the kind of person who just is like coming up with stuff you've never thought of before. Like that was like Alice was just like, all right, I'm teleporting this person and to create a wall between the civilians and the back. I was like, cool, let's do it. Like, okay, I'm gonna phase this person into the wall so he can't move and can't fight us. It's like,
That's
all right,
great.
cool,
Amazing.
yeah. That like she was just like engaging with so much and so like had so many great questions and ideas, and it was really cool, man. It's like really fun to see people enjoying the game also, but like really tearing it apart. Like that's the thing that I
Oh
think I
yeah.
value the most. It's just like, yeah, she was like, oh sorry, I'm like trying to like derail. I'm like, no, rip our game apart. Like show us the weakness, show us where it is, show us how we can make it more dynamic. Otherwise, we've got a couple of demos this week if you're in the Ohio area, and I'm not. So Mikey, can you take it away? Tell us what we got going on for demos this week.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we have some demos coming up here. First demo will be Thursday, March 14th this week. That is at Tabletop in Cleveland, down by the West Side Market. It's a really cool spot, great staff, lots of games, really good atmosphere there. I've always had a great time when I go. So come on down, bring some friends, check out our game, please. It'll be fun. And after that, very next day, down in Wadsworth, Ohio, we are at SideQuest Games. That is SYDEQUEST. Very excited to go there. Haven't been there, never been to Wadsworth in general, so definitely haven't been to this store, but should be a lot of fun. Anyone in the area, please bring your friends, have some fun with us, show up and break our game, destroy our enemies because they're criminals.
And lastly, stretch goals, right? So we've funded very, very quickly. Super awesome. We hit our first 2 stretch goals. The first one at 14K being 5 new superpowers and 50 additional enemy stat blocks. We actually just worked on the superpowers a lot this week to kind of, we already had some ideas kicking around in case the Kickstarter did meet that goal, but we just kind of really started fleshing them out and really started writing some numbers down and kind of getting an idea of what it would look like. The second stretch goal, 15 additional illustrations for superpowers and enemies. That's easy peasy. We just tell Max, hey, buddy, we can give you more work and you can make more amazing art for us. So we already let him know he's getting started on him.
So excited.
For the next stretch goal that we still have 8 or 9 days to get to it. It's 20K, 20 additional illustrations for starter, adventure, and enemies. So again, basically just like, hey, Max, we got more stuff to make. Please make us some beautiful art. So if you haven't contributed to the Kickstarter, please check it out. If you're interested in the game, you can get the PDF for $25, and you can, from there get a hardcover book. We're talking about doing some really cool stuff with like Scodix and maybe like various like matte or gloss finishes on the book. It's gonna look very, very sick. So yeah, check it out if you're interested. Even just a couple bucks really does go a long way for us. So if you haven't yet, you still got some time. Well, all right. I think that's all we got for you this week, folks. Until next time, I'm Smiley.
I'm Mikey.
We'll see you next week.